You are now tuned in to higher frequencies. We do this frequently. Turn your radio station to E3 for that decency. Listen to great music and the latest movement. Safe listening for anyone that's tuned in. Who you waking up to? Anna DeShawn, Q Crew and friends. It's that real talk. Online radio with the spins. You caught up in traffic, frustrated. Just check in with E3 to shift your vibrations and get elevated. That's queer radio done right. Choose to be yourself. That's the only way to live life, and that's how it's done here. Just know y'all tuned in to the greatest. Ain't no competition. We ain't worried about the other stations. Check.
What's good people? You know, this is your girl Anna DeShawn right here on E3 Radio, your number one stop for queer radio done right. And this is Wake Up with Anna and Friends. And family, today I got some new friends on the show. We got Blake and Ness in the building. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, Anna? Thank you so much for having us.
Hey, Anna. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm glad y'all are here. You know, social media is a beautiful thing, family. You cross paths with folks that you may have never met, and because of COVID, we are all online, okay? And so what's wonderful about that is that I came across the TMI Project and the storytelling that they were doing. And y'all know I've done Outspoken here in Chicago at Sidetracks. Storytelling is a big part of the community. And when I saw what you all were doing, I was like, y'all got to come on the show and tell people in Chicago, because people can tune in anywhere. So, Blake, you want to start off and just telling the good people a little bit about the TMI Project?
Absolutely. So we were founded 11 years ago by Eva Tenuto and her partner, Julie Novak. And Julie has since stepped away from the show, but from the organization, but has remained obviously close to it because her wife co-founded the organization with her and is still the executive director. So it was founded originally as a way to produce a version of the Vagina Monologues back like 11 years ago for this organization that was doing a benefit. And they did it twice. And this was before TMI Project even was a thing. And then the third time around that they were going to produce the Vagina Monologues for this organization, Eva was like, we should actually write our own stories instead of performing the stories of other people over and over and over again. And so that's kind of how it was formed. As the organization began to build and grow, and the methodology that we used to tap into people's true stories sort of unfolded, it was very clear that the stories that were coming out of the workshops were pretty readily founded in 4 different social justice focus areas. And so it started as a performing arts organization and slowly transformed into both that and now a full-fledged social justice organization that I call like a community connector. And the reason that it works so well in the social justice realm is because we're looking at the parts of people's stories that are usually left out because of shame or embarrassment or stigma based on cultural expectations. And so that's where the TMI part comes from. So we're actually genuinely looking for the too much information parts of people's stories, because in those spots, that's where the power and the beauty of the vulnerability of a human being lies. And it's fascinating and the most unbelievable thing that I've ever seen in any theater in my life, because what ends up happening is this radically true moment between the audience member and the storyteller happens, wherein the storyteller is sharing something that is deeply, deeply personal, and it unlocks this thing in them that's been held up for so long. Because when you release it and you gift it to a group of people, it's this beautiful, magical thing that happens. And I've actually literally seen people sit up straighter. It's like something flies off of their shoulders. You see their hearts get bigger. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever gotten to witness. And I remember the first show that I went to, I actually saw this happening. And I was like, I gotta work for this organization. So we are in our 11th year. We are, as far as social justice focus areas, we look at racial justice, LGBTQIA+ rights, gender equity, and mental health awareness. We also, this year, because of COVID, built sort of a 5th program into those social justice focus areas called Alone Together, which kind of brought all of those pieces together in a way, because we were all forced into our homes. And we were nervous at the beginning that, we, like a lot of nonprofits, we were going to tank. And what wound up happening was quite the opposite.
It's amazing, right?
It is amazing.
It's amazing. Oh, I just want to say this one piece, because I think that there's an assumption, because people were having such a tough time, that nonprofits like yours were going to lose funding or, be left with trying to figure out where to find the money. But I've seen it here in Chicago too. The giving increased. People were more committed to making sure that those organizations were there after COVID. And it sounds like that was the case with you all as well.
It was. And, I think because of the social unrest that was coupled with the pandemic, people were so committed to the power of human connection. And I think that really is the baseline for TMI Project. And, I would never probably have met Ness, even though they live right down the street from me here in the Hudson Valley, just because it's a very sparse community and there's not a lot of places for people to gather, especially queer people. And so anyway, I've rambled on a bit, but that's basically what the organization is doing. And, we're looking to the future and building upon all of these things that we've amassed over the past 11 years. And we're just looking forward to continuing pressing on through our transmedia hub and creating content that brings people together.
I think it's amazing. And Ness, you are a storyteller, right? Part of this project who shares their story all the time, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely. One, I want to say thank you, Blake, for the work that you do. Thank you to the TMI Project, and also for creating the Black Stories Matter segment. That's how I got involved with the TMI Project. And I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but really that changed my life. It changed the way I write. It changed the way I ground myself, the way that I tell my story. Shout out to Micah, shout out to Dara, the editors. Oh my God. I'm actually getting ready to start writing or doing my own workshop now, my own writing workshop because of this. I can't say thank you enough. Yeah.
So are you a poet? Were you always a writer? And then you saw storytelling and it was sort of a natural evolution? Is that how it happened?
Yeah. I was writing poems when I was 8. I was writing poems about Jesus being my best friend because I didn't have a lot of friends. And I just felt very left out. I didn't feel like I belonged. And so writing for me was always this way of just releasing, like Blake is saying, releasing this part that I needed to get out that no one else was hearing, no one else was asking about. Writing poetry, writing rap, and then starting to perform the things I was writing, because also speaking is a big part of it for me. I have to actually get it out. And I work with my partner, Nia. Nia and Ness, we're a performance artist duo. I'm the poet and Nia's the dancer, and we tell our story about our love, things that we experience in the world, things that happen to us, ways that we're changing the world by being who we are. So that's a little bit what I do. And actually, we performed at Affinity in December of 2018. I don't know if you were there or not, but we were there. It was great. Yeah.
No, the world is so small, okay?
It is.
I love that. You've been to the space already.
Yep.
I'll tell you this. I couldn't agree with y'all more about storytelling. I do not consider myself a writer. I would much prefer to talk on this microphone. But I was invited to share stories at this bar here in Chicago that transforms their bar into a storytelling event, once a month. And it's really dope. It's unheard of, And I shared a story about my breast reduction surgery. And to your point, TMI, and it was just so incredibly freeing. I ended up sharing that story multiple times because people kept asking me to go somewhere and share it because it was so relatable. Because I'm just these were not meant for me. Jesus was your friend, Ness? Yes, Jesus was my friend. I don't understand why we didn't have an understanding. And so I just shared that story, but also because I have so many friends of trans experience. And so as I was growing up and coming into myself, I was I wonder where I'm at on this spectrum, of identity. And I realized, no, I'm not trans, but these are not meant for me, right? And so sharing how I transform my own body to fit who I am, and that where I'm at on the spectrum is great, and I'm so glad I came to understand that. And so I love storytelling. To your point, Blake, of feeling free and like weights lifted. You just don't know until you until you tell your story.
It's true. And Anna, I'm a firm believer that everybody, every single person on this planet, no matter who you are, has at least 20 to 30 deeply personal, radically true stories that can be told with just a little bit of understanding about structure and, word choice and tone and voice. All it takes is a little bit of nudging, and everybody's a storyteller, which is why I think the art form is so beautiful, because quite literally every single person on the planet can do it.
That's real. I love that. And then you all have an event coming up on the 19th, right?
We sure do. Yeah, it's on Wednesday, May 19th. So here in the Hudson Valley in New York, once a year, this organization called the Community Foundation does like a wide one-day fundraiser called Hudson Valley Gives. And we always participate because it's really nice to, be sidled up with other organizations who are focused on doing good work in the community. And so we found that producing programming like on the actual day of Hudson Valley Gives always increased our traffic. So the cool thing about this year that I'm so deeply excited about is we've been online for the entire year, and this show is virtual, but it will be the first time that storytellers are actually going to be in a theater space on a microphone reading their stories as if it were 2019 again. Wow. So all of these stories that were read, on a very two-dimensional Zoom platform, which still brought people together, are actually going to get to see the life that they deserve on an actual microphone delivered to actual human beings, breathing in the actual stuff that is the magic of those stories. So it's Wednesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I believe is 6 p.m. In Chicago.
Okay. And
it'll be on Facebook Live, streamed through our media partner, Radio Kingston. So if you just go over to facebook.com/TMI Project, you'll be able to watch the show for free and make a donation from that platform.
And hear Blake when he says make a donation. Okay, do that while you enjoy the storytelling. Okay. Now, Ness, I know you're one of the storytellers, and I'd love to hear a piece of your story. If you have anything that you could share with us.
Definitely, I definitely do. I got it right here. I'm 6 years old. I'm running in my first race. I get to the race early with my mother, father, and sister. This nice lady shows us the course, starting on a dirt path, then winding through some thickets, winding around again onto another dirt path, and straight towards the finish. I see the other kids and feel butterflies in my tummy up until the race begins. The flare gun goes off, and so do I. Some of the smaller kids are having trouble keeping up. I run alongside them for a few seconds, smiling and telling them they can do it. As we approach the thicket, I pick up the pace a bit and see some other kids veering off track, getting lost among the trees. It's this way, I say. Come on. They look my way and follow me back onto the track. I feel good helping them. I feel like I'm doing something right. But everything changes as we round the final corner. Spectators are cheering on both sides of the track. I'm far behind the pack, and I see him, the white boy at the front, where I want to be, where I should be. Oh no, I think, not today. I pick up my pace, sprinting as fast as I can, just whizzing past all the kids. I'm almost there. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm so close, I can reach out and touch him. He looks over his shoulder and sees me, then gives it everything he has. So do I. But it's not us. He wins. He beats me. It doesn't matter that just like him, I'll get a ribbon that reads first place. I know we're not the same. I knew it when I saw his face just before he won and I lost. If only I hadn't helped those kids, I think, crossing the finish line, then I would have been the winner. There's that feeling again, the one I never want to feel. The desire to be liked hurts.
Ness, I have to tell you, you don't know this because my camera was off, but the first time I heard that story back in October, by the end of it, my tears were coming out free flow. I mean, the whole story is so unbelievably powerful and exquisitely written and told. And yeah, I just have a lot of gratitude for your willingness to share about your identity and growing into it, because it's really phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake.
Just that little excerpt, I saw everything happening. Like I was at the track, Ness. I was there. I saw you run off, and I'm thinking in my head, you have to stay focused. But I know that there is more parts of this story. Just tell why you went to help the people. Which even with that little bits, I think speaks so much to the Black queer and just like the Black experience, and that we're willing to go and help someone no matter what the outcome may be for yourself. This ever giving spirit that so many of us have. And you try to catch up, you might miss it by this much, but it still doesn't. It doesn't equate to the winning, losing part. I know that there's more. I wanted to hear.
Oh, definitely. You'll be there, yeah.
May 19th.
Yes,
I'm there. I'm there for sure. I've already liked the TMI Project page the moment I came across you all, and so Blake, please tell the good people, how else can they follow it? I'm assuming Instagram. Are we TikToking too?
We haven't entered the realm of TikTok yet, I gotta say, and there have been lengthy discussions about it, but I think a lot of us are, the organization is me, a millennial, and Eva, who's a Gen Xer, and then I think everyone else is either a Gen Xer or a millennial, so we're a little like scared of TikTok because it's a new thing, but I would imagine we'll be on TikTok sooner rather than later. We just have to stop being so scaredy cat. But in the meantime, we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, just at TMI Project. And you can also head over to our website, which is tmiproject.org, and check out all of the work that we're doing coming up here in the next year.
I love it. Y'all, this is the TMI Project. You go like them, go check them out, and then make sure you make it to the show on Wednesday, okay? It's good stuff, and it's for us, and I love it. So, Blake and Ness, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks,
No
Anna.
doubt. No doubt. Don't go nowhere, family. We got more coming up, all right? Keep it locked right here on E3 Radio.